Good evening, friends, fans, and missing Shane Lynch. Welcome back to the Paragon Masters. I'm your host, Toast Loading. To my left, to my right, another notch, and Shane Lynch. And this is the semifinals. This is the final game between Triangle Formation
a wizard
and Mayhem. Oh, yeah?
Arrives precisely.
When he means to. When he means to.
I'm not a wizard, though, so I have no excuse. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, wait, just for a fact, just so everyone knows. Guys, I'm so freaking hyped right now. The fact that this is going into a tiebreaker match between these two teams is something that I would not have guessed. I would not have guessed that Mayhem would have picked up the first victory. I would not have guessed that Triangle Formation would be kind of put back on their heels. The first time that we've seen Triangle Formation like this, the entire series, still performing amazingly, still being able to keep up with Farm, even though they're down, you know, they're pushed back into base. I mean, they're not playing bad at all. It's just Mayhem is finally saying, like, here, we're also on the same toe, and let's see what happens when the Clash of the Titans commences. So, I mean,
not a good, by the way, not a good film.
Not a sponsor. Not
a fan of that film at all.
Check it out. I'm super hyped. I got my peanut M&Ms. I got my glass of water. Shane.
Oh.
And I'm ready to go. So, the picks and the bans are again underway for the third and final time between these two teams. I'm going to pull the brackets so you guys can see Triangle Formation and Mayhem, the first and fourth place teams right now, are battling it out in a best of three in the semifinals to go on to what says the semifinals again, but it's the finals. Best of three. Whoever wins this one will secure that spot. And Thursday, July 28th, is Straight Out of Agora versus Evolve. Another best of three to find out who our two finalists are going to be. Again, these teams are battling it out for what was the base prize pool of $1,500, now at $2,067. Thanks to you guys over at Matcherino.com for donating. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. These teams totally deserve all of this. And again, every single team who is playing is getting a slice of this beautiful, beautiful pie.
Yep, third and fourth place, actually, guys.
Tied.
They're actually tied.
Yeah,
so
they get the same. We're not going to be having.
They get the same amount.
We're not going to be having a third and fourth place match. You know, I can pull those right now. Let me pull up that statage. Let's see here. What are they getting?
Let's pull this up.
So right now, third and fourth, as it stands, both are getting $270 for their teams. First place right now is up to $805. For the first place team. So that's what these teams are battling out for. And again, that can go up. America and Canada and Europe and other countries who are watching, that can go up. Just vote now on your phones.
If you guys want to see Triangle Formation win, please text the number to 888-TF1.
Don't text this number. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know.
You guys want to see Mayhem, 888-TF2.
TF2.
TMI.
Anyway, all right.
I apologize.
Shane, I think you're talking, but we can't hear you.
Shane, are you there?
If you were just talking.
Hello? Shane, can you hear me?
Hello, Shane.
For some reason, my mic muted itself.
Oh!
Shane, can you hear us?
Hey, Shane, on you.
Don't start going to show tunes, because you will lose this show tune battle. If you want to go to have a show tunes battle, we can have a show tunes battle, but you know you will lose.
Doormat, no. You cannot spam chat to win. That's not...
Notch, how many minutes are in a year?
There's like 500,000.
500,000? There's some sort of arbitrary number that no one has made a song about.
Who's the guy from American Idol?
Ryan Seacrest?
You sound exactly like him.
I sound like Ryan Seacrest?
Yes.
Huh. I gotta pull up some Ryan Seacrest stuff.
Cybervoid, I'm perfectly healthy. That's my lighting. Hey, just want to point that out.
I love that out of context.
Just gotta point that out right now because he's like, he doesn't look healthy at all. I am perfectly healthy. But it's just I got a bad light. I just got a stupid light. I'm all right.
So that's very good. I'm glad. Thank you for being concerned. Thank you for being a concerned audience. One thing I want to point out right now, because we do have the picks and bans. Or I'm sorry, not the picks and bans, just the bans for these teams for this final match. And the bans are again Decker and Sparrow. And let's talk about that because that has been the bans for the entire three matches.
That's Mayhem. Mayhem's banning Sparrow.
Mayhem's banning Sparrow.
Sparrow's god tier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uncle Sparrow.
Uncle Sparrow is so good.
No, Greystone is the uncle.
Yeah.
Sparrow is the niece.
Uncle Sparrow is so good.
So good.
Like, out of the little lore we have in this game right now, get it right.
I'm sorry. I apologize. God. I believe it was you who
Anyway,
messed up.
so, Notch, talk to us why Sparrow...
Yeah, God tier.
So good.
Growth?
Are you saying she's in puberty? Like what? What do you mean? Like what are you talking about?
No, growth, like the growth affinity.
Growth affinity is so strong right now. She can build tanky and not give up any damage.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
If she has it, she could just build a mix of spiked bone plate and thorn greenweave and just put damage in all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Math or sash. Why not?
As can be.
And I was kind of spying on Suki's Sparrow builds because I was trying to get Sparrow out of all the Rangers is by far my least played and like worst Ranger. So I was trying to get a little more acclimated to her, knowing that she's going to have a little bit more strength. More than likely is going to have a little bit more strength in this patch. So who best to study under the tutelage
of Suki? Of course.
And Suki goes like. It's cool. What he does on Sparrow, which we're not going to see this game, unfortunately, is he goes like 3 spiked bone plates.
You're just going to give up secrets.
And they're all out there for anyone to watch.
Wow, Shane.
It's really cool. I studied this myself.
Yeah. You're giving us the fruits of your labor.
I mean, it's not like people are going to be like, oh, that Suki build. Watch out for it. It's just his variation of the build. There's a lot of we saw Mr. Guru on Sparrow. His approach on Sparrow was a little bit different, but yet he was still winning some matchups that he otherwise probably shouldn't win against really talented Ranger players. And he didn't go with like this heavy spiked bone plate damage mitigation. Instead, he went with heavy stacking on health. And what's really cool about Sparrow and exciting about Sparrow is not only is I think she's going to be a strong hero, I think she's going to have a lot of stylistic ways to build her specifically. Not only build her to how you want to play her, but also build her to counter your opponent. And I think that is one of the things this game lacks in right now is a lack of variety in builds.
Yeah.
And Sparrow has that, and that makes me really, really excited.
Right now,
Go ahead, Toaster. You go. No, you go.
Okay. Well,
you go.
I was gonna go off topic, and I was gonna say 360 No Scope wants to know if we can see Slops the boss. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, both the teams are in their drafting phases. They're getting into the lobbies. We're gonna have their picks up very, very shortly, and then we're gonna get into the tiebreaker match of the finalists, which is super exciting. Game 3. Game number 3.
Yeah, we're going to a 3, boys.
What is happening right now?
What more can we ask for?
So let's talk about this. Would you? Okay, we've talked about, Shane. You kind of warned, like, oh, is this a one-trick pony for Mayhem? Is having this very aggressive team comp and Triangle Formation now has adapted, as we saw last game, and is that going to be the end of Mayhem? If you're Mayhem, do you try it one more time back to your original?
I don't think so, man. I think Mayhem needs to do something different. Maybe not fall back to standard, but do something different. I think Triangle Formation showed in game number 2 that they pretty much recognized and understood why they lost game number 1. They went into game number 2 knowing that they played accordingly, they adapted accordingly.
Yeah.
And I really think it would be I think it would be an error for Mayhem to go into this with a very similar draft. Like that kind of Greystone plus, heavy roaming around, getting aggressive in the jungle in the early parts of the match.
Okay.
Even in game number 2, they still were able to pick up kills, and there were still team fights where they came out ahead. The victories were nowhere near as decisive, and their rotations and their shot calling were nowhere near as decisive. And I think that was just because they knew Triangle Formation had their number.
Sure. Well, and again, wanting to point out that we all noticed Triangle Formation early on in that game still not quite performing as we've seen them. Still maybe just kind of off foot, trying to find their balance again. We'll see if this third match, they're right back in it. Everything is done, shaking the 2 off as if they never happened. Or we'll see if they kind of have that remnants of that first match. But again, that first match now, you guys, I think, it was about 2 hours ago. And so that's a long time to kind of get that out of your head, to stop. It's not as relevant, I think, immediately. Notch, kind of over to you. Similar question. If you're Mayhem, do you agree with Shane? Do you switch it up now? You try it once, it worked. Try it a second time, didn't work. Do you try it a third time, or do you do something completely different?
I don't feel like they tried the second time as what we saw the first time. I feel like go back to game number 1 is what I feel like they should do.
Okay. Muriel, Chimera.
Muriel worked out so well for them, by the way.
She
turned team fights in their team's favor. What? Muriel, ladies and gentlemen?
Hello?
She worked out so well for Team Mayhem.
I thought this was America we lived in.
They go back to game 1.
Okay.
They go back to game 1.
So now, okay, now the flip side, your triangle formation. What do? Do you stay with, because you say that the triple ranger? It didn't work first time, worked second time. You're adapting. Do you just say, cool? We're assuming Mayhem's going to go back to that first one. We're going to stay.
Stay in their comfort zone. Triangle formation, stay in their comfort zone. I think now is not the time for triangle formation to explore outside their comfort zone unless it's something that they have really, really refined, which I highly doubt, again, because this patch has been out for all of 12 hours.
Right.
Even if the moment the patch came out, they were scrimming constantly, I don't think that's still enough time for them to pull out some,
crazy game meta
strategy
strat
that they aren't comfortable with.
Sure.
So, stick with the triple ranger plus, plus 2, whether it's Steel Grux Rampage, Chimera Steel. I think any combination of those. The thing about Chimera is the reason why you pick Grux Steel and Rampage, those two, and in whatever combination is because the amount of CC they have.
Yeah.
Chimera doesn't have as much CC. His ultimate is kind of a form of CC, but you don't use it as CC. You use it as burst damage.
Right.
So I don't think we're going to see Chimera over that. It's just you want two people. I think we'll see Richter before we see Chimera for triangle formation.
I was just going to ask you actually about Richter. Why do you think we haven't seen him in place of some of these other CC heavy champions?
He's not as good as the other heroes.
Cool.
Just simply put. Now with Rampage being nerfed, I think we're going to start to see him a little bit more because Richter does pretty damn well in the late game, especially considering the recent nerfs to Rangers and how Richter's early game, you could just punish him so easily. Like if he missed a hook, he was just out of, and he wasn't, he didn't have his tankiness first.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, whatever. But now that Rangers do considerably less damage, I think we might start to, and Blink Charm also has been changed as well. Which obviously Blink Charm on Richter, there's potential for really, really crazy plays.
Some crazy
crazy plays I would love to see.
Crazy stuff.
Like imagine him like Blink Charming up to the high ground and pulling someone,
grabbing someone. Yeah.
Some crazy stuff to go down.
Hint.
But I think in this patch, I want to see teams experiment more with Richter because I think Richter's going to be a dark horse in this patch. But anyways, going back to the point,
this is live.
Two frontliners with CC plus triple ranger. That is what triangle formation loves. That's why they banned Decker. That's why they ban Decker 100% of the time, is because Decker is the hard counter to their comfort picks. So that's what I think we're going to see. I don't want to see triangle formation go away from what they're comfortable with.
It looks like the picks and bans are coming in. They're starting to feed in. So we're seeing right now what Mayhem picked. We got to wait to see what triangle formation picked, and then we will show it all to you guys. Yeah, I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna look anymore because I want to make sure that I'm surprised when you guys are surprised. Not Shane are looking. Guys, don't look. What are you doing? What are you doing? You can't spoil anything. We're not showing it yet. I'm with you guys.
I'm not spoiling.
Kalari team. Kalari.
Gadget boys. Kalari Murdoch. The global strategy is here.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
All the lies. We're 2 more picks, and once they're in, this will be up on stream. Let's go over the no, I'm not gonna go to the brackets. I'm not gonna tease you guys. So Kalari and Gadget are not in. There's no way.
Not in 1,000 years.
There's no
not in a billion years is that happening.
Shaping up to look a lot. It's okay. It's a lot like game 1.
All right.
They're done. You can show them off.
Here we go, guys. Going over to what we've got on the draft here. Triangle formation to Mayhem, banning out Decker and Sparrow. Triangle formation picking up Grimex, Murdoch, Twin Blast, Steel, and Grux. The same heroes they ran for last game. Team Mayhem, Rampage, Muriel, Chimera, Murdoch, and Grux. Kind of a... They've got the little touches of the first one, and then they've added Rampage.
No, they didn't have Grant. They have Rampage instead of Greymane.
Yeah, Greystone. Yeah, Greystone.
Or Greystone. Oh my god, he's so funny.
Greymane. Boom.
You need to go back to that other game, my friend.
Yeah, right.
So there you go. This is it. I mean, this is what we're gonna be seeing. So looking at this comp, guys. Triangle formation. We've seen this. We know them. They're very strong. This is their comfort picks, as you said, Shane.
Yes.
Looking at this though, looking at Mayhem, what are we going to see? Is that early game aggression again? Again, Muriel falling off late game. It's just got to be, they got to end it quick. We'll see if I'm assuming that's the same, right?
I think Team Mayhem, if in game number 1 they had to hard win in the early game number 3 they have to win even more. Because Rampage is a early game fighter, especially with the nerfs he received. It's no longer 5 and dive. It's more of a 5, and hey, I can stay alive really long in team fights and do a lot of damage.
It doesn't have that. Doesn't have the ring, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't quite have that same. It just doesn't roll off the tongue as nicely. So,
Let me ask you a question
they
real quick.
won the early game, but when it got to the late game, they struggled really hard to end it out. And I think in the late game, Greymane is a little bit stronger because, I mean, we saw the numbers what he was able to do in these fights in the nuisance. But at the same time, Rampage has that hard CC, so you have like a boulder into a coal into a long arm of the law. Like, I don't know. I still think it's the same mentality we saw in game number 1 from Mayhem. Exact same mentality from Mayhem.
100%. 100%. They have to be aggressive. They have to be hyper aggressive from the start. Chimera at level 5, his ultimate does
So much damage.
much damage.
With almost no items or no items.
With no items, he can do 300 plus damage.
Yeah.
He can basically take a hero from 100% to 20% in one ultimate. It's absurd. I'm very excited about it. I love Greymane. I mean, Chimera. I've talked about Chimera since he was introduced in the game, and it's finally we see him where he's supposed to be at.
Yeah.
Muriel, guys. I mean, we talked about this the other day on my stream. I think even Shane and I have talked about it. Muriel, would she come back with this patch? And with the scaling changes, Muriel has come back, and she's actually in game number 1. She actually swinged. Some of the team fights actually went in favor of Mayhem strictly because of Muriel and those ultimates.
Yeah, Muriel, man. Look at.
So I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
They are remaking the game. I did get a whisper. They are remaking the game. There was a little.
Yeah.
There was a little hiccup.
A little bit of bug. Selwonk.
Oh, of course.
Oh, Selwonk.
The usual suspects.
Selwonk.
The usual
that
suspects.
Guy. Come on.
The usual suspects.
So they're getting back into the game.
Guys, I keep saying Greymane. He's from Heroes of the Storm. I apologize. I'll stop.
Me too.
Going back to the drafts again, so people can take a look at these. I kind of also want to talk about the Grim-X. We've seen on Triangle Formation them using that Grim-X ult. I feel like more on the side of just to do early damage in a fight than to be a final kill. And what is that? Why, I guess, is the question. Why use it that way instead of as that kind of that snipe at the end?
It puts you instantly on the back foot.
Yeah,
Use it right at the start, and you're like, crap, I have no health.
Interesting. Okay.
And I can't go in and I can't engage. I'm not comfortable engaging.
Okay, so it's more of that kind of like psychological. Like,
yeah,
ooh.
I mean, it takes the players out of engagement. They have to be too far back line. They're not really a factor. If they get too close, you can be punished for it. So it really takes you out, unless we get to that point where early game it's not so much. It's just kind of like, hey, we're gonna deal a ton of damage just because we can. But late game, it really takes you out. I mean, it's frightening when all of a sudden you're hit. And now you're at half health, and
sure.
You have to play on the back foot. You're less of a factor in team fights.
So how now the one thing about Grim-X and his ult GTFO is that it can be blocked by your allies.
Yes.
Let's talk to me as we're getting the teams are getting into the game right now. Talk to me about the difficulty of that, because in the game you see it, you're like, oh cool, I'm just gonna jump and hit that. And sometimes it just goes faster than you expect, or you can't quite get over it. But like when you have all those guys, whenever all your teammates kind of in that area, why don't more often you see your allies blocking it?
It's not that easy to block.
Yeah, it can be difficult to do sometimes unless
depending on the angle where it's.
Does Steel Shield block it?
Steel Shield will
Decker
block
ultimate.
it. Decker Ultimate will block it.
Okay.
Walls now. Well, not walls, but you can't. I love that change.
Line of sight will block it.
I love that change. That was such a good change. I think everyone can agree that change was necessary. I have to say, I think the nerf for Epic generally has been really heavy-handed when it comes to nerfs. Dating all the way back to the first big nerf we ever saw was Grux, and he got nerfed into obscurity for like 3 months.
What about Muriel?
He got destroyed. Same with Muriel.
What about Muriel?
Same with Muriel. Same with Rampage. There was a period where Rampage was really. He was the wet noodle. He was called the wet noodle.
Don't you say that.
We did an entire podcast on
I was
Rampage.
trying to make him good. Shut up, Shane.
And I think the nerfs here were reasonable. They were sensible. They specifically the nerfs to Rampage, the nerfs to Twin Blast, and the nerfs to Grim. I think were all very reasonable. Mm-hmm. Balance. Now, with that being said, without going too much on a rant, balance is always in a state of flux, and it's always going to be worked on. and that's sort of the thing we signed up for in early access. Is we're here to test the game and figure out all these things, so that way when the game does come release, we have the best set of heroes that we possibly can.
That's the other thing.
I'm looking at you, Reddit.
A great Reddit. What's Reddit? A great reminder, Shane, that this game is in early access, and we're not on our own private servers. So, like the change that just happened, for the patch, these guys are at literally less than or 12 hours to play this new new style. So there's going to always be changes. It'll be super interesting to see as this game goes forward what it's just going to look like in the future. But the fact that we get to see these teams live adapt to it is just absolutely incredible. All right.
You get into game here momentarily.
Yep. Looks like we're getting in the game very soon. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final game between Triangle Formation and Team Mayhem. Starting out, Team Mayhem picks up the first victory. Crazy aggression coming out the gate.
Beautiful game.
Had a kind of a tough time closing it out. They could have won it about 25 minutes. Went to about 50. Triangle Formation did a great job defending. No, but
that's truth, brother.
Yes.
That is truth, brother. Speak it. Amen, Jesus. Amen, that's truth. But it ended at 25, but they said, nay, we going to 50. We're going to take this to 50.
We had that hour-long game in Agora's Rising 7, man. That was...
I'm done. No, I'm not saying that Triangle Formation did a fantastic job defending. They did a fantastic job staying in their base, not just shaking his beard. And then going into game number 2, Triangle Formation starting out against Mayhem. So Triangle Formation picking up the first blood there and then doing some questionable things, but getting their footing back on, closing the game out, now tying it up 1-1. And this is it. Again, the winner of this will be one of our finalists in the finals next Tuesday, August 2nd. And the final finalist will be determined on Thursday, this Thursday, between Straight Out of Agora and Evolve. Arctic Wolf has taken 5th place. They've performed amazingly in this. Now we're at the top 4. So, Shane, Notch, I will ask you for the last time today. Maybe not the last time today, because maybe I'll ask you in the game if things get crazy and start changing. Who do you think has this? And I want a legitimate, thoughtful answer here. Shane, I'm going to start with you. Triangle Formation or Mayhem?
Mayhem came out, game number 1, guns of fire and fists a swinging.
That's right.
They were able to establish themselves a lead in both tangible and intangible variables. Momentum, farm, kills, everything. We harped that with that composition, they had to win in the early game and end it in the early game. They started to look really shaky, but through persevering in game number 1, they came out and they won the game. Game number 2, Triangle Formation had their number. They figured out what was going on with Mayhem Gaming. They knew how to win the game. They executed. They lost. They were behind in the early game, but they weren't so far behind that it was insurmountable. With the drafts right here, because Triangle Formation has already shown that they know how to adapt to Mayhem Gaming style, their play style inside of Agora, and also their ability to draft, Triangle Formation takes this 2-1.
Okay. All right. Notch. Wow. Follow that up.
He said so many big words.
Follow that one.
That was a very tempestuous answer, I know, but
I don't even know what that's not even a word.
Did you say tempestuous?
Did you say?
I love that word.
Is that tempura? You dip that in oil?
Yeah.
That's a batter, right? It's a tempura batter.
Correct.
Really
That's what I thought.
Shane's words are tempura.
So they're delicious.
They're delicious.
So for me, if this game does not go to 50 minutes, if this game does not go to 50 minutes, and Team Mayhem plays the way they played in game number 1 and ends it, Team Mayhem could take this, and Team Mayhem 2-1.
I want. Okay.
Oh,
okay.
You said that so hesitantly. Jimmy's like,
no. He said it. I love it. I'm gonna go over so you can see what Notch is doing. He did not look super comfortable about saying that at all.
I mean, how am I supposed to continue to be biased if I'm giving this to another team? I feel like I'm letting the Paragon community down right now by not being biased. By not being biased to Triangle Formation. Like
you're way too biased for Mayhem.
Oh!
Yeah, your bias needs to really calm down, Notch.
Triangle Formation, I mean, Team Mayhem 2-1. If they play aggressive, they come out and they show us that strong start that we saw in game number 1, they could take this match. I mean, they put Suki on tilt. He missed 4 ultimates. Chill Phil was diving towers on a Muriel who was at full health when he was not.
Yeah.
They played so poorly game number 1 that if they could put them on the back foot, then the tempura batter of Team Mayhem will rise to the surface, and yeasty goodness from bread. Bread? You put yeast in bread. Stop. It was bread.
Yeah.
I was making a bread reference. I was making all like the references of food and stuff.
Yeah, sometimes people ask for the bread of insight, and instead they're given the stone of knowledge. I understand.
Right.
So, right, ladies and gentlemen, the game is in. We are giving them that 3-minute buffer. We're at 2 out of the 3, 60 seconds left. And we are getting into our third and final game between Triangle Formation and Mayhem. Shane thinks it's going to be Triangle Formation 2-1. Another Notch thinks it's going to be Mayhem 2-1 against Triangle Formation. Cody, you asked what you missed. Well, you missed some crazy games. We are going to be posting these on our YouTube channel. Go over and click on that bottom button and subscribe to that. You guys can check out all of these. We upload them the day after, so you can see all those crazy plays. Let us know. I want to know right now, chat, who do you think is going to have it? Will it be Triangle Formation? Will it be Mayhem? This is for the pride. Shane.
Slops.
Slops the boss?
Wow. Like, I wanted to mention that earlier. I completely forgot. He's playing.
He's killing it.
So well.
Yeah. I mean, the 2v...
So well.
The 2v1, the fact that he is able to single-handedly capture chat's heart.
Like, you know, if Slops was any less of a player... then I don't think that Mayhem could win strategies only having one Ranger. When you only have one Ranger, that Ranger better be a damn good Ranger. And Slops has pulled his weight and then some in this series thus far. He's going to have to play the best game of his life to win this one, though.
All right.
Best game of his life.
Look at chat. It's split. I feel like it's split.
I love it.
Don J thinks it's going to be Arctic Wolves. I would
yeah, totally. Don J.
Hey, who knows? Who knows? Cody, SOA to not get knocked out right now. Again, this is the first of our 2 semifinal matches between Triangle Formation Mayhem. Thursday will be SOA versus Evolve. We are in. I'm ready to go. Notch, Shane, you ready?
Oh, am I?
Oh, my God.
3, 2, 1. Let us do this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third and final game between Triangle Formation and Team Mayhem. These 2 teams playing it out for the first or one of 2 spots for our finals coming next week. And that sweet chunk of the prize pool that is now over $2,000. Shane, read us out for the final time this game. Who we got on Triangle Formation?
Easy peasy, making it look easy on the Grim Dot, X, Suki Dash on Murdoch, Beacon the Baconator on Swim Blast, Selwonk, a good friend of mine, but also likes to feed on Grux, Chill Phil on Steel.
Notch, we got on Mayhem.
We've got Griever on a Rampage, Live Lunatic on Muriel, Big Boy B playing an incredible hero of Chimera, Slops, who we've just seen decimate tonight.
Oh, man. So impressed.
Murdoch, and Blaze Master B rocking the Grux.
Absolutely killing it. Yes, that's right. The second time we've seen Muriel. First time working out beautifully, and like you said, Notch, actually being a huge factor in winning some of the team fights. And right now, Live Lunatic, though,
what is happening?
Who is
this? Triangle Formation says, nay, Live Lunatic. You want to be aggressive? Get deleted, son.
Wow. 1 minute, 25 seconds into the game, first blood. Going over Triangle Formation.
I'm not a physics major, but I'm pretty sure they just tore apart the bonds that hold Live Lunatic's bodies together.
Wow, that's what's up. Triangle Formation
went quantum mechanics up in there and just
Like, we're gonna show. You want to see aggression, Mayhem? Let's show you aggression. All right.
Deathball confirmed back. Deathball confirmed back.
No.
This game's over. Give it a try in 20 minutes to render coming up, ladies and gentlemen.
Hashtag is it 20 minutes yet?
I would like to point out, though, Selwonk missed that pull. So
he did characteristically miss that. No, we can't get in 2BM Notch. We get out of hand. All right, guys. All right. So, getting the kill on the Muriel, in the grand scheme of things, really isn't that big of a deal.
No,
it really isn't.
No. It's still, though. It's still. What I love about it, though, is I think it sets the tone. it will instantly set the tone of a match. There's something about first blood. There's something about that first kill that goes over that is like, hey, your team gets first blood. Like, cool, we're dictating this right now. And just that slight kill onto Live Lunatic, like you said, doesn't mean the world of a difference. They're both level 2 right now. Suki's going to be slightly above him, but it's that mentality. It's starting to put Mayhem potentially like, hey, all right, triangle formation. Now they're aggressive. We're supposed to be aggressive, guys. What are we doing? We'll see. We'll see if that affects anything. Man, 3 and 6 card points.
All those card points, right?
Wow.
Total of 6 card power. Dear Lord.
Dear Lord.
Okay, Talkery just asked, what is this comp for Mayhem? It's a comp that won them game number 1.
Yeah.
Against a team who hasn't dropped a single game.
Yep. It was
this team comp worked out well for them. We need to see the aggression. They're waiting till we get to Big Boy B to 5. And Griever's a little bit under farm. He's only at 2 right now. I mean, we're 3 minutes in. Come on, Griever, step up your game. But I mean, once we see Big Boy B hit 5, he's going to look for those engagements. He's going to look for those players that are overextended, and the amount of damage he does on Cole is absurd. So I expect to see major rotations coming out of Big Boy here within the next minute or 2.
Now let's talk about laning against a steal. Chillfill again for the 3rd time on steal. Just the fact the usage of his wall. Do you, as Chillfill, use your wall to deny last hits?
Yeah, that's one of the great things that great utilizations of steal you can do in the early parts of the game is denying last hits that way, and also body blocking. Chillfill, he's taking it seriously because he switched up the model on his skin. Big Boy flanking in, they're looking for Beacon. Griever, okay, good peel. They avoid that gank. That they have to do that like 20 more times in a row. Avoid those ganks, and they can be in a pretty spot.
20 more in a row.
But Chillfill means serious business. He's no longer on the really, really ridiculously good-looking steel, blue steel skin. He's now on the carbon skin.
Oh, that's what it is. He's getting serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. No more games for Chillfill.
He's hitting him with that Magnum, if you will, right? Because that was the last one. Is that the?
Yeah, I'm taking it. Now Rampage. Let's talk how Rampage fits in, because this is actually the difference between Mayhem's first team comp and this one, right? You've got this Rampage. How? Again, early game aggression with a change of his ult, though. Do you think he's going to be as effective as? Who do they have in his place last time?
I think he's going to be more effective than Greystone.
Greystone, that's right.
I agree.
The reason I think he's going to be more effective as Greystone is you could Blaze Master B landing a smash and grab into a boulder, into a leap, into a cull.
That's a nice boulder.
Whoever is standing there is deleted. They're not going to move.
I'm making. Anyways,
you are stunned. You are stunned for all of the seconds.
Yeah.
Until your life is 0.
Every single second.
Every single second till you have no more life is how long you're stunned. But it's about comboing that. I do feel like Rampage is the better pick than Greystone, even though we saw Greystone played by Blaze Master so effectively. But I do think Rampage is going to be a bigger factor than Greystone was. You can't ignore Rampage. Greystone you can kind of ignore if it gets behind. You can't ignore Rampage.
Yeah.
Muriel now at Live Lunatic. They're just hitting 5, so got his ultimate up. We'll see if this starts coming into play, and it does look like right now we do have Big Boy going to go ahead
Flanks.
and rotate over. This might be the 5-man gank.
They know it's coming. The ward is there.
Yeah.
And 5-man gank is going to net 0 kills, though. It will secure him the black buff, or the 4-man gank, rather.
That's 2 out of 40.
Yeah. Yeah, they're able to dodge that gank, but the responsive triangle formation to defend this push, what's it going to be? Here's the thing about only having one ranger, is your pushing capabilities are far less than your opponent with 3 rangers. So
sure.
Actually get a little bit scared. Beacon, that's what I'm talking about right there. They go in there, Slops gets the last hit with the bug shot, quite possibly the best kill stealing ability in the game right there. And now Chillfill's up next, no level 5, beautifully done. Right there. They get the black buff, they rotate, they don't steal the red buff, but they get 2 kills out of it. Now with the black buff, they should be able to secure this tier 1 red tower, a very, very important objective.
I mean, talk about like, oh yeah, you don't have rangers, so you're not going to be able to secure kills or secure towers as much. Well, we can get kills, have a black buff, and that'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean, this is what they need to do, what they need to continue to do. Who has the black buff? It's on Blaze Master. It's on Grux. Big Boy's going in. This tier 1 tower is going to fall. They're just going to back off.
Easy Peasy's trying to split push at the same time, and he is going to successfully kill Live Lunatic. So easy peasy. That was a very needed kill right there. The question is, can he get the tower down? He should be able to, because Mayhem's just there. I mean, even if they were started rotating right this second, I'm pretty sure easy peasy might be able to get this set. We'll see. If not, he's going to do a significant amount of damage to it, to where just one, concerted push should be able to pick it up. So easy peasy just did a great job right there at doing a good amount of damage control, making sure that Mayhem doesn't get too out of hand.
Whoa, yeah. Whoa,
Did you feel the cool breeze, Steph?
Slaps with the whiff.
Right by. I'm just kind of. I'm trying to. Maybe that was just to scare him off for a moment, but it looked like Blaze Master B was going to be there. I don't know if that was necessary, but Slaps might say, "Yeah, I don't need it for anything else. I'm going to back. It'll be fine."
Yeah, I mean, he was already backing. Slops was, again, if he hit him, then that was great. He really wouldn't have done anything but caused some damage, because he wasn't going to kill him with it. But easy peasy with that kill onto Muriel. What level is Muriel right now? Muriel is 6. Okay, yeah, so 6. She's a factor. I like the plan of easy peasy right now. Don't let easy peasy, Suki, or Beacon just free farm. That's a terrible decision.
Yes, it really is. Especially
we've seen teams do that, and then in the end they're like, "What the crap," and they just get annihilated.
Yeah.
We'll see. Right now, we do have Selwonk rotating over here. Maybe Blaze Masters might be in some trouble.
He probably is gonna die.
Oh, got out of it just in time. Did he?
Now here comes Big Boy. Here comes Big Boy. Easy peasy. They got to respect it. No, Big Boy isn't. I would love to see Big Boy do the wraparound there. He probably. I mean, I'm like 90% sure he could have 1v1 easy peasy there. But no, still, at least Blaze Master gets away, lives to die another day.
Yeah, lives to die. Yeah, that's Paragon for you. Paragon, live to die.
Especially if you're Selwonk.
Selwonk. It's like the Selwonk expansion, just all the deaths.
Mm-hmm. It's all of the deaths.
All of the deaths.
All of the. I wish Big Boy B would have stayed in and put some damage into this.
Yeah, I'll say it looked like it might have been a little bit of not free, but.
I mean, it was 10 to 15 seconds of him attacking this tower, and he just kind of backed off. You give yourself that farm, his passive, which not his passive, his E ability, which I can't remember the name of because I'm bad. Every time he lands an auto attack or a basic attack, he gains health regen. So you stand there and you free farm basically on minions or tower. Easy peasy comes over, and you're not that worried about him because you've got 15 seconds of being able to free farm and stack that up. But I mean, he made the right call. He made the safe call, and there's nothing wrong with being safe.
Now, one thing I want to also point out is we have third game of our series, best of 3, tied up 1-1. First game goes over to Mayhem, crazy early game aggression. They got into the late game and they were able to push through. Second game, triangle formation, kind of came back, secured it, found their footing. Now we're in game number 3 with a similar team composition. Oh, ooh. Easy peasy.
The follow-up's not there though. I mean, Blaze Master, even if he lands a smash and grab, GTFO, wrap around from Selwonk, and I don't think Blaze Master B is going to get away from this one. Unless, of course, there's the reversal of fortune.
I don't know if
I'm not sure if this is the right call. No. I was going to say, is the follow-up there? The shield is not going to hit Blaze Master B. Suki's here as well. There's the secondary shield. Smash and grab is going to land that time. Actually secures the kill. So, Live Lunatic, I think if all the shields landed on him, he might have been able to get away.
Big Boy.
Here comes Big Boy B and Slops.
This is what we want to see. He's in trouble. There's that shield, but there is no ultimate. They got to be careful. Down goes Beacon. Here comes Slops. He confirms the kill. Chill Phil is level 5. He's looking for the ultimate. He's going to diggity dunk all the way onto Griever. Narrowly misses Slops. I thought for sure that was going to hit him. But that is the target he was looking for. 2-for-2 exchange thus far. Griever has the ultimate. Does he have the boulder? He does. Oh, man, he whiffs the boulder, though. I think he should have bouldered Chill Phil. He had no shield charge. He had no ultimate. They could have secured the kill. On to Selwonk they go, but there is no Grux for them to get a smash and grab right there. So, a 2-for-2, but Slops, I believe he got at least 1 kill out of that. Slops is actually 4-0. So, again, they need their fallback. The fallback plan for Mayhem is, okay, even if we don't decisively win the early game, let's make sure that our Ranger is significantly further ahead than all the other Rangers on the enemy team.
Right.
And that's their contingency. And right now, they're in position to be in a decent spot, even though they aren't really snowballing right now because of that.
You only have one Ranger. You want to make sure.
Yeah, exactly.
He's landing those. Like he is important. You want to make sure those are landing.
Which is
we have to be. They have to be careful here. I mean, Blaze Master B and Slops went up to try and deal some damage to that tower. They are able to get away, but we're not seeing the hyper aggression that we saw game number 1.
Nope. That's what I was gonna say before that fight is the difference between game number 1 and this one, which is Mayhem going back to that original plan, is that we're not seeing the kills, we're not seeing the objectives, and here is Triangle Formation now taking black buff, so more going away over onto the side of Triangle Formation, and it's just a different feel than the first game. Similar team style, similar goal, I'm sure, for Mayhem, but completely different way of playing it out.
Yeah, this is if I'm Mayhem right now, they need to turn on what they did game number 1.
Oh yeah.
Game number 1 worked for them. It worked well, and they're just not doing that. Yes, Slops has the farm, but the card power is relatively equal when it comes to everybody else. And you're not getting objectives. We're not playing team deathmatch. I don't care that they just picked up 2 kills. They didn't get a tower down. They didn't get an objective down. Those kills mean nothing this early in the game when Triangle Formation is able to farm effectively and get themselves right back in contention with card power. So those kills do nothing unless they pick up objectives. They need to take 3 or 4 out, and then they need to push a tower down. Griever here getting getting aggressive onto Beacon. He is going to hit him with the. He's going to miss
Beacon.
with the rock.
He's got the jukes, but he doesn't have all the jukes. Man, wow. Muriel got the kill. Great job, Muriel. Still, they secure the kill on the Beacon though.
But they're not going to get an objective.
They aren't, especially because Griever erroneously popped his ultimate right there. Maybe if he still had his ultimate, they could have pushed that. But I mean, you know what? Hey, at least they got a kill. Still got to be okay with that. I mean, it's still a positive net result.
Yes, right.
But,
I mean, still be okay with it, but they
definitely could have played that better and got more. I agree. Yeah. Right.
One thing I love also seeing from these teams, both teams today, and also a lot of these teams who are playing Paragon Masters, is just when the communication, right? Easy Piece right there was pushing up against the right. The moment that Mayhem left mid lane, instantly he's backing off, right? He's like, all right, I know, I'm about to get ganked. Oh, someone going over on in the forest.
Yep. Chill, Phil, and Griever are having a little bit of a slap fight. Slops is there looking for the flank. He's got to be careful not to get caught out here because, big boy, there is the Colt. Wow. So much damage! Look how much damage that does. Slops gets the last hit. Chillfil with a big 3-man shield slam, but he gets knocked off. The Muriel shields are so valuable, hitting all 4 people right there. Chillfil's in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have any much to contribute more to this fight, so they get the kill onto Slops. Beautifully done right there. Chimera's damage is just...
It's ridiculous. I saw that. It's ridiculous.
That was insane.
It's like, your health, it's gone. Sorry, it's gone. Taking it.
I love it.
not just this is his dream. This is what he loves seeing.
I love it
Man,
so much.
Picking up another kill now, pushing against that middle.
They should be able to pick up.
And this is what they need to do.
Yeah, exactly.
They need to get the kill. They need to all rotate over as a team, and they need to get a tower. They're not going to have the minions there. Hopefully, they can juggle. Well, they're not going to have to. Nope. Not going to have to do too much juggling here. 1 tower shot onto Blazemaster B. Are they getting aggressive? Triangle Formation is just going to play it smart. They're going to clean up that mini wave, and they're going to get back to farming. But that's what they need to do. When Team Mayhem takes a fight, they need to make a decision. They need to rotate as a team, and they need to get an objective out of it. That was a great play out of them. It's opened up the map for them, especially mid lane. Push that lane a little bit forward, keep it kind of in enemy territory, and now you have the map wide open for your team to rotate freely and not worry about being caught out.
I would make it a huge priority to limit the red jungle of Triangle Formation if I'm Team Mayhem right now. Blue side isn't as big of a deal. Maybe it will be a little bit later once the Orb Prime starts to become a little bit more of a viable option as an objective to take. But right now it's about that black buff and the red buffs, and I would like to see them do that. That's exactly what they did in game number 1. The moment they opened up that map control, they constricted Triangle Formation, and that really lended very, very well. I really want to see them do that. They're not doing it quite the second, but that's more so they're just healing up from the last engagement. And I think that's more than likely going to be the plan in the next couple minutes. It's just, we got the 2 towers, really important towers, the tier 1 towers, mid and red, and let's go ahead and continue to build up our lead that we've got thus far.
Now, again, I kind of want to reference game number 1, since this seems like it's going to be a similar style. Mayhem got into the late game, and they won. Now, it was obviously so much because of the amazing push and all the objectives and the core being at 5% early on that they could win that late game. But Mayhem was able to still do, I feel like, pretty well against Triangle Formation. Yes, Triangle Formation started to come back, but I'm just trying to see if this does happen to go into late game, if Mayhem starts playing this kind of slowly. I don't think they're completely out. I don't think it's like, oh, yeah, Triangle Formation definitely has this late game. But we...
No, I mean, what we saw game 1, absolutely not.
Right.
But it comes down to, does Mayhem get to that late game and start making the mistakes they made?
Right.
Game number 1, and Triangle Formation capitalize off of those mistakes.
Sure.
Because there's a few times where Triangle Formation wasn't able.
Slops is getting really aggressive on Beacon, and Beacon's
Dead.
Dead.
And they might
Beautifully done. Like that wasn't even like the traditional aggressive heroes you would expect. That was literally just Slops getting in Beacon's face and just completely destroying him right there. Yeah, Big Boy on the other side of the field here. He's going to be able to get away. Blazemaster B as well. They're actually might be able to pincer Chill Phil and Selwonk. Selwonk has to barrel roll away, and Suki's there as well. Actually, that could have been really bad for Triangle Formation.
Yeah.
If Blazemaster B was there just a couple seconds earlier.
Woo! Well, they get a tower. They're getting a harvester. Again, Mayhem, we've seen, this is another thing that's been common, is when they are ahead, the control of the enemy jungle is definitely
That's exactly what they're doing. I love it. They killed a harvester. They got the kill. They're still in the red camp at 18 minutes. Ryze spawns for the 3rd time. This is exactly what I wanted to see them do.
Yeah, this is what we saw from game number 1. This is exactly what they did. And they need to keep this aggression up. Blazemaster B just happily farming. I mean, but take a look at the card power, guys, and it's almost even. Like
that again, and Triangle Formation ahead on farm.
Yeah,
it's about the objectives. We have to get objectives here. They're getting towers. They're doing what they need to do. Constricting the jungle is huge. Not allowing that jungle farm is so important. And they're able to pick up towers, but with the changes to the jungle. And the fact that every 1 minute a white camp spawns, you can't be in their jungle the entire game trying to shut that off.
Right.
It does make this the we'll call it a comeback mechanic of them farming.
Don't call it a comeback.
I'm sorry. And able for them to continue to stay in contention with card power.
Yeah.
And be on an equal footing. It's just about they're not setting the tone. They have a much better initiation with Chill Phil and Selwonk, and they're not setting up the engagements. They're getting caught out.
I don't want to target specifically a card, and please, feel free to correct me if this is totally off and wrong, but do you think the change to Shockwave is something that Chill Phil might not be adapting to quite yet?
I don't know. It's still, I mean, that significant of a which he's not using it yet. He will eventually pick it up, I'm sure, considering he's only at 18 card points 20 minutes into the game. It's the main mechanism Shockwave was used for on Steel, and other traditional heroes who picked it up, like Richter, it would set up for your ultimate.
Yeah.
And it's still that you're going to use it for that exact same mechanism. Overall, is it as strong? Of course not. No, it's not able to interrupt really important abilities. But it's still, its main priority is it opens up the big, it's the setup for big ultimates. And I don't know. I think Chill Phil has definitely been playing. This is the worst I've seen Chill Phil play ever. He's played better in this game thus far. He's been landing. He landed a 3-man ultimate, but it didn't matter because Muriel showed up and said, "Well, I'm literally just gonna with one ability negate all the damage that you just did."
Yeah,
which is what you want to see Muriel do. But if Chill Phil can just, if he could just step it up a couple notches, just another notch or two at twitch.tv/another notch.
Something like that.
Then I think he'll be okay.
Now, here at Live Lunatic is, we talked about this the first game, split pushing on Muriel, and it looks like Triangle Formation knows this. Engage going in, Muriel flying in.
Oh, Selwonk gets knocked up. Can they take him down? That long arm of the law on Big Boy. He hasn't able to get his ult off. He's taken out. Smash and grab. Pulls him down. There's the counter long arm of the law. 1-for-1 thus far. A Grux for a Chimera. Chill Phil. Does he have that ultimate still online? This is looking pretty good for Triangle Formation, assuming that Chill Phil doesn't get taken out. Live Lunatics or to use the ultimate. Beautiful. Well done by Triangle Formation. This is a decisive victory. This is what Triangle Formation at this stage of the game did not win a single team fight this decisively. Now they can go to they can push this tier 1 in the blue lane. They can fall back to OP.
Yeah.
They can get aggressive, and there's many different options for them to capitalize on this team fight that they just won right there.
So Big Boy B jumped in on Chimera onto Selwonk. The moment he jumped in, Selwonk ulted as Big Boy B was using his cull, and it actually interrupted the cull and put it on a full cooldown. So that's why we didn't see that ultimate come out of Big Boy B.
Huge.
Wow.
Then they had to overextend to get the kill, and at that point, it was over. Yeah, that's a really big deal. Chimera, I was wondering why Big Boy didn't get his ult off there. I was like, why isn't just hit R? Big Boy just hit R. That's all I have to do is hit R.
That is huge.
My replay crashed.
That never happens.
That never happens.
I don't understand why I'm the only one that has that.
It's got to be a driver issue or something, dude.
It's not because the game doesn't crash. It's just the replay. It literally exits out of the friggin' replay.
Epic knows you're watching. He's like, oh, what?
Yep.
Not just enjoying your game?
They're like,
All
we
right,
gotta
shut him
mess
off.
What time are you at?
Shut him up.
We're at 22:22.
Tell me when you're at 22:27.
Right.
Now.
Do it.
Got it.
Nailed
Woo!
it.
We're back.
We're back in sync, guys.
And they're like swimwear.
We did a Reddit.
That's right. Hashtag and they're like swimmer. Hashtag positivity. Hashtag beard hugs.
Whoa.
Yay!
Too much. So now, right there, Triangle Formation just picked up the tier 1. They didn't go for OP buff. I mean, obviously, they either thought they didn't have enough time or they were too low. Or is that something? Would you guys would have gone for OP or?
I feel like 22
We
minutes
would've.
into the game. I would have done that because that's the wrong call.
Solo.
I mean, they could have got it, but I like what they did. I like that they opened up the map and they're trying to take objectives.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, they could have got it, but then you have that slow push into a tower
Yeah, the risk.
against the team that's been winning team fights. I mean, that's really the first team fight
Yep.
that Triangle Formation has come out on top
That's
on.
right. Really smart call.
Great point. Great point.
So start taking objectives, start giving yourself that advantage, the card power advantage. I think the call to get objectives was the better call.
So
That shot calling was so well done right there, man. Like they knew that they've been losing up until that point. They've been losing because they just haven't had any map control. They haven't felt comfortable on the map. The immediate go-to play initially was kind of like, or Prime, but it's like, wait a second. Overall, what's the better picture here?
Yeah.
So I really like.
Yeah.
I really admire Triangle Formation right there for showing that all the games that they've played, their maturity as a team showed just in that small little play right there. Very well done. I think any other team probably would have just done the Orb Prime and then maybe been a little. It would have been a very awkward timing for them.
Oh, Live Lunatic's got to be careful. He is
does.
behind.
He has his
the
ultimate.
lines.
Big boy's look at Big Boy. He's coming up here. The ultimate on a Big Boy. He's trying to get a big knock up here. He knocks up 3. Where's the follow up? Look for a long armor. The long coming out from Slops. There it is. Big Boy needs to get that ult off though. He goes down again without getting that call. It's so important for them to turn these team fights around. Here comes Graver, the big boulder, and the smash and grab on a Cellwonk. He's so low. He's actually pulling people. He's saying, "I'm Cellwonk. I'm gonna pull you to me even though I got no HP." Blaze Master B going in there to secure the kill. He is gonna get it. Turn around back to the fight. Chill Phil very low. Griever easy peasy. Easy peasy should be able to pick up this kill. He's not going to be able to. But they do get the takedown onto Muriel. Muriel's done her job. Blaze Master B, you're not a gray main. He's going to get taken. Greystone. He's not.
No, he's not
so
great.
a
Man.
3 for 1. So Mayhem is doing. They're doing what they need to do. They just got aggressive in the jungle. But this is not. If I'm Mayhem, I would be really, really concerned right now. We just got aggressive. We caught Triangle Formation off guard,
And we
yet
lost.
we still were not able to win that team fight right there.
That is the second time that Cellwonk has interrupted call. He did it exact same thing again.
Interesting.
As Big Boy leapt in and went to use call, he's using his ultimate and completely shutting
So
down call.
he's just waiting for that and using that to turn the team fight in his favor. It's fantastic. And this is the one thing that I remember when we three started kind of looking at Triangle Formation before this started. The one thing that just kind of blew us away was the fact that they could be getting ready to do a team fight that, again, just like that one, looks like they should lose on paper. Triangle Formation got caught out. All Mayhem would have to do is collapse here, get some kills, and they turn it around and they come out on top. And it's that amount of just decisiveness out of that team, either the calls, the focus, everything that goes into that, which makes it so impressive and really makes them huge contenders.
These engagements are coming. They're about 15 minutes too late.
Yeah, I agree.
From Mayhem.
Suki's too far. They're Triangle Formation's officially ahead.
Yeah, we needed to see these at 10 minutes. And we didn't see them. So they're now trying to take these engagements when you have Triangle Formation whose Rangers are online. Cellwonk and Chill Phil are doing exactly what they need to do. And these engagements needed to happen at 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean that's what we saw the first time, right? We saw Mayhem doing that, and they picked up the victory because of it. This time it seems like they either let the game number 2 kind of put them off a little bit, maybe didn't kind of took away some of their confidence, and that's another thing you have to keep in mind is it's not as easy as going into another game, losing that game, and going, cool, great, we're on to the next one. We'll just forget that didn't happen. I mean, it's just that takes so much practice to be able to get that out of your head. And it's not uncommon to see a team go down and kind of have to recover the next game. That's what we saw. We saw Triangle Formation do that game too. We saw them early on against Mayhem, kind of faltering, and then they picked it up. So we'll see if Mayhem can kind of shake it off, Shake it off.
Yes, thank you. Hoping there are
Britney
not enough
Spears.
Taylors.
Britney Spears, Immortal
Britney
Words.
Spears.
Oh, gosh. Remember that thing I was going to say I was going to do to you when we cast?
Shahaha.
Yeah, I do remember.
What do you think about that, chat?
I remember.
I remember.
So, this is not good for Mayhem. Because this is not a composition where you get behind. Like, if you get behind, you're like, oh, it's fine, we can get back ahead. Like,
Right.
we've seen the last 2 team fights. They've been getting aggressive. They've been getting decent initiations. Now, I don't want to say that Chimera is making or breaking in these team fights, but, Cole's bursting down Beacon Suki easy peasy very, very quickly is on the shoulders of Big Boy to get that call off, and he hasn't been able to do it in these past team fights. So, if Big Boy can get a big call off, followed up by the long arm of the law from Slops, then they possibly might be able to turn these team fights around. But at this point in time, they're so far behind that even after they get that combo off, assuming they are finally able to achieve that combo, that they still might not be able to take the team fight from there. Tier 1 tower under siege here. Triangle formation, quick on their heels to respond. They are getting in formation indeed. I'm pretty sure that's a Taylor Swift song. Chill Phil, getting aggressive, going in there. Look for the shield slam. Onto 2, onto Slops. That's the target he needs to hit. There's the long arm of the law. Muriel not hitting. I'm not sure if that wanted to hit Slops or him, but Blaze Master B is going back in there. Knock up onto 2, followed by the smash and grab onto Beacon and Cellwalk. Beacon's getting a lot of damage. Big Boy, he's doing the damage. Cellwalk barely able to get away. He has no health. It doesn't matter. They might die to a bleed, actually. Cellwalk does not die. Chill Phil gets taken out. I'm sorry, Blaze Master B gets taken out. Chill Phil gets himself the hell out. Wow. Cellwalk was able to live. That team fight was on a razor's edge right there to either one of these teams. Is Team Mayhem thinking about re-engaging? They are. There goes Big Boy. They're trying to knock him out. There's the knockback from Murdoch to peel his teammate, and Suki with the huge plays, keeping his brother alive, his brother from another mother. And, wow, Big Boy, I thought for sure he was going to take down Beacon.
Yeah, someone.
That was beautifully done by Suki.
Well, another thing I want to point out in that entire team fight is you had Grimex on Easy Peasy. Grimex on Easy Peasy the entire time, on top in the higher ground, up that ledge you guys see on the left hand of your screen, just getting free shots off on everyone on Mayhem. No one was able to touch him. No one was focusing him, and it was just free damage the entire time. A 2-for-0 in favor of Triangle Formation. So again, Mayhem kind of getting pushed further and further back. And I think, Notch, you totally called it in the first game, and the thing that you've been telling everyone is if you can put Triangle Formation on their heels, if you can put them on the back foot, if you can make them play from behind, they do not thrive. They really struggle.
Yeah.
And Mayhem has just not been able to do that to Triangle Formation this game.
No, they haven't. And this is Triangle Formation is very comfortable in these engagements right here, because they're confident that they can win them. They have heroes that can stay in the backfield.
Yeah.
And you have to come to them to get their damage dealers. Yes, you can try and take out Chill Phil and Cellwonk in the front line, but then you have to worry about Easy Peasy Suki and Beacon poking you from. I'm going to stop there. Shooting.
Shooting you.
Then you have
shooting
then
in
you
the
have
face.
to worry about the other 3 shooting you in the face.
Right.
At range, and so they have to have Blaze Master B and Big Boy and Griever jump back line in order to really do anything, and they're not able to do it. I mean, Cellwonk has shut down. That was the first call that's happened in a team engagement out of the last 3. Big Boy B waited for Cellwonk to ult, then he used his call, but got very little value out of it.
Yeah.
Because it was on to Cellwonk and Chill Phil, and Beacon,
thought
Suki,
Cellwonk
and
was
Easy
dead.
Peasy were in the back. They were too far away from it, so they didn't get hit. They didn't get the knockback. Nothing happened there. And these guys are having to deal with this front line while still having to worry about that long range poke, and it's costing them these team engagements.
Yeah,
No,
I agree.
Let's talk about the Muriel on the side. Live Lunatic there with Mayhem. Do you guys feel that he has been, the Muriel ults have been good? Has Muriel been doing her job in the fight?
She's been doing her job. She's kept her teammates alive.
Yeah.
And it's without the Muriel, these team engagements would be, 3 or 4 kills on side of Triangle Formation.
Yeah.
But because Muriel's coming in, she's landing very important shields. She's getting those boosts off. Her ultimate is really changing some of these team fights and allowing her team to escape. She's definitely doing what she needs to do, but it's not of big of an impact because Team Mayhem doesn't have the lead like they had in game number 1.
No, they're only not only. They are 1 tower ahead, But I'm saying only because in game number 1, by this time, 2 inhibitors were gone. You know, it was
exactly. We had 2 inhibitors.
Yeah,
Inhibitors down.
yeah. And they were ahead and equal on farm. Well, right now they are pretty much behind. Yeah.
I mean, other than slops, you've got Beacon, Suki, and Easy Peasy over 40. The only person over 40 is slops. You've got Chimera at 36. Chimera is, as of this moment in time, I don't feel like he's going to be that big of a factor. He's fallen off. By the time he jumps in, gets his call, and does damage, he's going to have taken 4 or 5 shots from 45 card power Rangers. And that call's not going to really do anything because he's going to be dead.
Well, I wasn't actually talking about Chimera's late game damage. I mean, kind of expand on that a little more. Nas, you play Chimera, I know a lot. You love the champ. Late game with the items that you build, do you build all damage? Do you build some tankiness? Like, is it a mix?
You have to build a mix. I mean, what Big Boy is doing here with your spiked bone plates and your thorn green weaves, you have to build some tankiness because he's all about getting into that back line and trying to blow up one of the Rangers and one of the casters. If he's able to jump in and deal a ton of damage and take out a Ranger...
Slops.
They're going in there. Slops is in a lot of trouble. If they can take him out, this will be huge for him. Muriel's trying to do her job, but Chillfield says, nay. Huge smash and grab coming out right there from Selwonk. He pulls him right back in. Wasn't even necessary, but gives stylistic points over to Selwonk right there, ladies and gentlemen. Triangle formation, man. I just... they are in a place right now with the way that they play and the lead that they have established. I simply don't know how Mayhem can get back into this game. Triangle formation, when they're in this play, triangle formation, they are as comfortable. They are just.
This is where they want to be.
Happy place.
Yeah.
This is
their happy time.
And this is where they don't. This is when they don't make mistakes. They make a lot of mistakes when they're behind, but when they're ahead, they're don't
on point.
Make mistakes.
Yeah, precise.
And Mayhem is a composition that for you to get back from a deficit, your team pretty much has to make mistakes. Speaking of mistakes being made, Blazemaster B, Selwonk got a beautiful smash and grab right there, and I'm pretty sure he's going to get taken out here. More than likely. No Muriel. I would even say just sacrifice Blazemaster B, but he's going to be down on the field for 60 seconds, and now any hope you had of defending the turn-in for the Orb Prime,
it's going
to be difficult.
Going away. Let's see. Orb Prime now just going down. Easy peasy picking that one up with Chill Phil. I was like, did they not get it?
They started it yesterday. They just finished.
They started game 1. They just picked it up.
Yep.
You can do that. It's Paragon.
They started that Orb Prime in patch 0.27 and finally just got it.
Early access, boys. Early access. Like we said, it really does seem that. Obviously, right now, Triangle Formation is in the lead as far as objectives go. Yes, they don't. Yes, they don't have 2 towers, to Mayhem. But they have OP buff. They're going to go in. They're looking so strong in team fights. If you're Mayhem, what do you do to put them back on that kind of that tilt, to back on the defense?
Oh,
do you just win this? Do you take this OP buff from them and turn it in? Is that?
I mean, that's what you want to do. Big Boy B has to get a kill. Big Boy B has to be the aggressor. The ultimate from Live Lunatic needs to land on the Big Boy B to keep him alive long enough to get that kill. But Big Boy B has to instantly take out Suki, Easy Peasy, or Beacon.
Yeah, I agree.
In a team engagement, and he just hasn't been able to do it. Selwonk has been waiting with a smash and grab. Chillphil's been waiting with a shield charge, and they're completely shutting down Big Boy E. And the big thing right now with Chimera is the amount of burst he can do on a target, and they're shutting him down.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see Live Lunatic alts Big Boy B while he's jumping in and try and help him with that kill.
Now, Beacon right now is split pushing mid. Do you think this is a wise call? This
is him feeling comfortable. This is Triangle Formation feeling comfortable right now.
What they do.
Okay.
They split. They force you into awkward positions. They force you to make decisions that you don't necessarily want to make.
Take objectives.
And you're like, okay, well, you're going to have to make the decision of, are you going to allocate your resources appropriately? Because if you don't, either we're going to come at you and kill you, or you're going to lose a whole bunch of structures. Either way, it's a really, really awkward position.
It's just that control. I mean, the control right now of Triangle Formation, really dictating the flow of the battle. And this is the Triangle Formation we've seen this entire series. We'll see how Mayhem can deal with it. We'll see if they're able to kind of put that banana peel, that proverbial banana peel, under them. You know, Notch?
I know exactly what you're talking about. That get him to slip.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
This is going to be. I mean, they were. How about words? Words is my first language. They're just delaying this. They're not turning this in. You've got Twin Blast, who's Beacon doing Beacon things.
I'm surprised they didn't. I guess they just wanted to secure control. Griever goes in. Blaze Master B. Stun doesn't hit on easy peasy. They needed to land that stun. That was so important. Now Big Boy's coming in here. Can he get the jump on him? Easy peasy. He has that deflect up. The ultimate's still online. Knock up. Look for the call. The call, I think it went off, but it didn't land. I'm not sure what happened. I think
it just went off now, but it didn't. What happened?
Oh my lord, easy peasy. Some still alive. Big Boy does take out easy peasy. This is looking good for Mayhem. Selwonk in a lot of trouble. Live Lunatic is going to get out of there. Slops is so low. Selwonk was trying to go mano a mano versus Slops, but unfortunately not going to be the case. Suki gets smashed and grabbed up by Blaze Master B, taken out. That is what Mayhem needed right there. Beautifully done. That was a sloppy engagement, and I hate to say it, but Selwonk was a little bit too tunnel-visioned onto Slops. Slops was able to get the 1v1 advantage over there. Later game in the situation, now Beacon's going to be takeout. This is disastrous for Triangle Formation. With that being said, Mayhem has to act quickly here. They have to get more than just a tier 1 tower. They need to get a tier 2 and just push down these lanes and take map control back.
One thing I want to say there, looking at, again, fantastic team fight from Mayhem. Live Lunatic, when Slops, and I think it was Slops and either Beacon or Slops and Suki were 1v1ing, he runs over to help. He actually used his shield to try to kill Suki faster, and then Slops died because the shield wasn't on him. I mean, it's one of those calls where you have to make it split second, like, all right, you know, probably assuming Slops is going to back off here, but it's like, oh, as a Muriel main, you see that, you're like, oh no, like he could have been alive. Not that would have made a huge difference. Again, a 4-for-1 is a fantastic fight for Mayhem, but we'll see what they do.
I feel like that not enough is being done here.
Yeah.
They already have defense at the tier 2. They're not going to be able to get the tier 2. Yes, they got the kills. Yes.
Yeah.
Orb Prime was not turned in. I feel good that Orb Prime is not turned in.
Yeah.
But Triangle Formation didn't make any push to capture Orb Prime. They allowed Beacon to open up map control a little bit more in their favor. They took down that mid lane. Now map control is equal for both teams. Triangle Formation still has the card lead. They were not trying to capture that Orb Prime. They were trying to give Beacon more time. Right. It was control. They were trying to give Beacon more time to open up the map a little bit in their favor, and that's exactly what they did. Yes, they lost 4 people, but Mayhem didn't get any objectives out of it. At 40 minutes into the game, at 40 minutes into the game, those team kills, yes, they were off for 60 seconds. They don't mean anything. They did nothing. If you
don't translate that to anything, I mean, because when it comes to the card experience, they still are behind even after that fight. Slops is doing a phenomenal job at maintaining about the same farm as his opponents, Rangers, with the exception of Suki.
Boss
He's done
Slops,
a great job.
Boss Slops.
He really is the boss man. I'm so impressed by his play. I mean, no disrespect. I had no idea who he was until today.
Sure.
I didn't. He wasn't like I don't remember him making big plays or anything. He just came in today.
Big boy.
Man, has he been impressive. Win or lose, it's going to be a big deal. Over here, Big Boy, he uses the cold. Once again, it gets interrupted.
Wow.
How does Triangle Formation continue to just toy with Big Boy, push him around, knock him around, and almost baiting out his ultimate? Because that ultimate, I mean, that is a cast time of what, like a half a second? To predict that going off is incredibly difficult. But they have, I mean, between the knockback on Easy Peasy, Suki, the smash and grab, so on and so forth, they continue to completely interrupt the call from Chimera. And that was so huge, and they get the kill, and they get the tier 2. Ultimate's still online. Shield Phil is looking for a shield slam. He might not even have to use it. Big Blaze Master B is in a lot of trouble. Griever pops the ultimate, just try to do something to peel for his teammate, but more so to get that leap on himself, to get the hell out of dodge. 5v3, 3 Rangers siege down an inhibitor, 40 minutes into the game, with the Rangers having card points in the 50s. This is a very, very hard defense that Mayhem has in front of them.
I didn't see
this. Slops was pushing down the tier 2 for Team Mayhem.
Yeah.
So they basically just in exchange. Yes, there was 2 deaths, but Slops opened up right lane, or left lane, depending on where you're looking at.
That's true.
For for Team Mayhem, and Beacon actually had to back. So great split push coming out of Slops, keeping his team in the game. Now, what do they do next? What's the next call here? Because they're losing these team fights. They're not winning these team fights anymore. These team fights are fully in favor of of triangle formation. Taking a team fight is going to be scary for Team Mayhem.
One thing also, Shane, that last fight that happened over on left lane for the side of triangle formation, Chillville actually did use his ult. That's how he took down, I believe it was Blaze Man. No,
okay.
Maybe Big Boy. He had to catch one of them out. He did ult to catch up to him. So it was an ult on a one person. So they really felt like it was gonna be worth it. Yeah, they got a tier 2, so that was kind of worth. But again, absolutely loving what Slops is doing, because a lot of teams would see, myself included, I would see my tier 2 like, oh, enemy's knocking our tier 2. Let's all go over there.
Right.
And they get to take it for free, and you get nothing. Slops is like, cool, I'm gonna lose this, but I can probably take this side, and a good exchange for him. Card power, still the creep score, 535 on the side of triangle formation, 493 on the side of Mayhem. I'm not sure. I mean, I feel like even when Mayhem first game was, really taking it to triangle formation and eventually winning, I'm still sure triangle formation was up creep score. They just know how to get creeps. I feel like that's one thing they really thrive in, and it keeps them catching up. 60 card points now, getting hit for 3 members in the game, 2 on the side of triangle formation, 1 on the side of Mayhem. We're starting to get to that late game, 43 minutes in. Now, again, 60 card points on each side. Looking at the synergy, the left side.
Yep, they're looking for initiation. Chill, Phil, probably Blaze Master B. Muriel Alt is their follow-up, though. I don't know. Here comes Big Boy. Slops is behind him. Blaze Master B with a huge smash and grab, but there's their follow-up.
Oh!
There's a slam. Long arm of the law. Suki's low. Can they take him out? They knock him up once again. Here comes Griever. Suki should have gone down a little bit earlier, but he was able to pick up the kill. Big Boy, he's looking for the call. It's not going to happen because Twin Blast has that red buff, and he gets so much extra speed out of it. Big Boy, once again, gets taken out of these fights. He has not been an impact. Sewonk trying to just zone out Slops. Even if he dies for it, his job has been done. Slops did absolutely nothing in that team fight other than poke down Sewonk on that Grux there. And I think that's what Selwonk's job has been a majority of this game, is just zone out Slops and let the rest of his team go down. Beacon versus Slops. We've seen this before. Easy peasy's coming in. Slops can't do this again, can he? He's easy peasy to come in.
He's got to back off.
The dingle dunk.
He's got to leave.
And there he goes. Beacon picks up the kill. 4 down on the side of Mayhem. With this lane already pushed in, not looking good.
Cole did go off. It went off on Suki. It actually did a ton of damage on Suki.
Okay.
That's why
it's such a quick ability. It's just like
it really is. I mean, it goes off. It splits. Like, I've actually watching Chimera to see if it's continued being stunned. But Selwonk did an incredible job there
of zoning out Slops.
Yeah, keeping Slops away from the team fight. 100% away from the team fight. Griever, he's not going to be able to defend this tower. This tower is going to fall. And good team engagement comes to triangle formation there.
Damn near 50 minutes into the game, finally an inhibitor goes down. Triangle formation, you can tell that they are respecting Mayhem a lot more from the previous 2 games. I know these guys on triangle formation. I think a lot of the time they would look at that draft and be like, "Oh, we win."
Sure.
But they have a lot. They're playing. You can tell that they're respecting Mayhem a lot more, because normally at this point they just switch on the aggression and don't let go. But they don't want to. There's a lot on the line, man. They don't want to give up the biggest prize pool in Paragon history. They don't want to get knocked off, especially after not dropping a single game. And Mayhem coming in here and making a huge statement. Win or lose, Mayhem has made a huge statement.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see them in Agora's Rising at some point here in the future, and continue to see them progress. But the end of the road is near. With that red lane inhibitor down, these team fights continually not going their way, triangle formation continually not making, team fight losing mistakes. It seems that they have adjusted their play accordingly. Selwog zones out Slops, the Lone Ranger on the side of Team Mayhem, allow the rest of his Rangers to just simply win by default. We got the late game upper hand, and that's they're executing it perfectly.
Well, I think that's one thing that also is changing from triangle formation. The adaptation from first game to this game, which are both similar in style, is the amount of commitment triangle formation put to try to shut down Slops would get them in so much trouble.
Big time.
So Prime Arm is being taken right now by triangle formation. Big Boy B, Griever, and Slops are here. Big ultimate coming out of Slops.
Going in there. Oh, if they can take out Beacon, that'll be huge. Look at Big Boy. He avoided the shield slam right there. Whether or not it was calculated, that's huge. Griever's taking a lot of damage. He misses the boulder again. Beacon is still sitting there. He's somehow still alive despite the fact that they put so much into him. Big Boy's in a really awkward position. He's going to get taken out easy peasy. Was trying to look for a GTFO.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, this may be it. This may be Mayhem Gaming, who put up a phenomenal display. They made The Legends bleed is what they did.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're going to be able to take down the Legends here in the semifinals. They should be able to turn this in and end the game with 3 people down for upwards a minute. We'll see, man. This is it's not looking good.
Slops is on his way over. Look at that wave of super minions he has to run by. I mean, he can't even defend this. If he does, his base is going to be at such threat. Blaze Master B is up as well. Slops is just going for it. Look at this. He's just like, all right, I'm doing it. Final stand.
We did it.
We did
Slops. That's farewell, Slops. That was admirable. I think that's going to be it, guys. That's got to be it.
Yeah,
unless Blaze Master B, not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
A little anticlimactic at the end there, but still, Mayhem Gaming. I have never been impressed by a team this much. They came out swinging. I mean, can we please get an applause for these guys and how they performed, man? I'm not going to lie. I was expecting this to be Triangle Formation 2-0 relatively short. Like, I'm trying not to be disrespectful when I say this, but the way Triangle Formation had performed and the way Mayhem Gaming, had been a little bit inconsistent with their previous games, Mayhem Gaming came into this with a game plan. Game number 1, they executed it fairly well up until they had a little trouble in the end game.
Yeah.
Game number 2, it seems like Triangle Formation just figured it out. And game number 3 felt like a combination of Triangle Formation figured it out, and Mayhem Gaming didn't play as well as they did in game number 1.
Yeah. I mean, but still, though, like you said, both of these teams playing phenomenally. I would not have expected it to be this close, as I'm sure none of us would. Looking again,
not at all.
It was so fun. What I loved as well. Again, great plays from Triangle Formation, great plays from Mayhem. In the beginning, pre-show, before the match number 1, you ask who's going to have it. Everyone's just saying, "Oh, Triangle Formation, good. It's over, it's over." And then we get into match number 1, and everyone's chanting for Mayhem, and it was just.
When I saw that draft, I was like, "Oh man,
what is going on?" Yeah, what's going on?
Like,
and
they
won,
and
they won with that, and they beat Triangle Formation, took a game down. Unfortunately, it was not enough to move on. But congratulations to both of the teams for making it to the top 4. Going over to the brackets now, Triangle Formation has secured their spot in the finals, as basically has been predicted since the beginning. They've been a fantastic, amazing team, a force to be reckoned with coming out of the Agora's Rising tournaments, and now even in the Paragon Masters. And there you have it. They are going to be playing for whoever wins against Straight Out of Agora or Evolve on July 28th. That is this Thursday. And they are playing for, right now, the base prize pool up to $2,079. Thanks to all you beautiful, amazing people. Again, every single team is getting a chunk of this sweet, sweet, delicious, sweet, sweet pie.
What does Team Mayhem take home as of right now?
So as of right now, Team Mayhem, let me pull it up, is taking home $268.62.
Chang.
Cha-chang. So fantastic performance. And again, this can all go up. You guys can still donate. We're going to keep donations open until the very, 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 very final hit of decor in the finals happening next week. So you guys please continue as you feel led to keep giving to these teams. Again, all the money goes to them. They're fantastic, awesome people, and we appreciate it so much here. It's so cool to see the support of the community thus far. Shane, Notch, some of your guys' final thoughts on this. A fantastic semifinals coming out of both these teams. So fun to watch, and I can't wait to see them both again.
Got to give it up to Team Mayhem coming out and showing
so amazing.
A very unorthodox pick, game number 1 and game number 3. And game number 1 definitely was in their favor. I feel like game number 3, we saw a major adjustment out of Triangle Formation. Selwong was just shutting down those calls. I think he interrupted 3 of them or 4 of them.
So basically take him out of the fight.
Ridiculous.
That was his job.
Yeah.
That was his whole
and
job.
that's huge because the front-loaded damage of Chimera is not in his auto attack. It's not in his basic attack. When he runs up to you, unless he's 4 or 5 card levels ahead of you and he's farmed, then yes, be careful. But, I mean, I feel like Selwong did such a good job at shutting that down. But, man, Team Mayhem just came out and put on an incredible show.
I think Team Mayhem, when teams come out here, even though they lost, that inspires and invigorates other individuals and teams when they see that sort of thing. They just went up against a dominating Triangle Formation.
A god tier.
Dominating Triangle Formation.
Diamond. God tier.
And with a composition that a lot of people just scoff and dismissed. Myself included. I'm not going to lie. Myself included. When I first saw the draft, I was like, oh, good.
You're like, oh, they're just throwing a Hail Mary.
Now, a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's patch day and things like that. Agreed. But again, the hallmark of a great team is adaptability. And I think games like this inspire players, inspire individuals, inspire teams. And overall, I think this game right here is going to be one to remember that, triple ranger, triple ranger 2 fighter, you can do other things and be victorious, especially as teams continue to experiment with the current build, and especially with, future builds, future heroes, so on and so forth. A team thought outside of the box, and they were this close to getting to the finals.
Yeah.
Love that. Inspiring. Mayhem, continue to get better. I really want to see you guys in season number 2 knock it out of the park.
Notch.
Just watching chat. I'm watching chat, the BM in chat right now. One of the things I love about this community is how close-knit it is and positive we are.
Hashtag mute Shane.
So knock that shit off. Please, dear God. But yeah, I want to see what I am. Thursday's matches for me. I feel like depending on what we see Thursday is really going to set the tone. This is such a stupid way to say this. Depending on what we see Tuesday or Thursday will set the tone for the finals. I really don't want to see. I want matches like this on Thursday night. I want these back and forth. I don't want these one-sided close matches.
I think Evolve and SOA, yeah.
We have 2 great teams with Evolve and SOA, but can they beat Triangle Formation? We've seen both of these teams get. This is going to sound BM, but torn apart by Triangle Formation.
Yeah.
And after what we saw tonight with Triangle Formation and the adjustments, I feel like somebody can beat. I feel like these teams have a chance after what we saw Team Mayhem do to beat Triangle Formation.
Sure.
And so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens Thursday night.
Big target on the back of Triangle Formation's head. Again, guys, go over to the ParagonMasters.com or ParagonMasters.com. Sign up. Just to help the chat.
Are you serious?
So, okay. I have to push through it. Go over to Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. You guys can get the replays. We'll be posting these tomorrow on YouTube. Go over to our YouTube. Subscribe. Check out those videos. Follow Another Notch and Shane Lynch on Twitter. Agora's Rising. They're fantastic people.
Twitch.tv/ITG Shane Lynch.
There you go. Notch, are you going to be streaming?
I am not. It's 1 o'clock. It's just about the end of my stream. I'm gonna call it a night. I'll be on tomorrow at 6 though.
All right, we're gonna find someone else to host here, guys. Thank you so much again for joining us here at the Paragon Masters. Congratulations again to both these teams for making this far. Congratulations to Triangle Formation for securing one of the 2 spots in the finals. Make sure to tune in Thursday, July 28th for Straight Out of Agora versus Evolve. Going to be 2 fantastic matches, and then, ladies and gentlemen, next week at the finals. Be there or be not there. It's one of the other.
That's really it. That's really you're either going to be there or you're going to miss it.
You're going to
you decide.
Totally miss it. Again, thank you guys so much. On behalf of everyone here at the Paragon Masters, that is Another Notch. This is Shane Lynch. I am Totes Reloading, and as always, we are going, Paragon.